No, Dave, it's not flat, man. People have been up in space before. They've seen it. Stop using Microsoft Edge. Use Chrome like a normal person. Welcome back to Long Way Home, everyone. The place where getting your motorcycle news is easier than licking a cactus, but not by much. I woke up this morning with a huge thirst for having an argument with someone. So I thought the best way to achieve that would be to do a Harley Davidson video. That's what being around you for 10 hours a day does to me. Harley has just been kicked out from one of the most prestigious clubs in the world. Stick around. The S&P 500 index. This is a stock market index which measures the performance of the largest 500 companies in the United States. All your big players can be found here. The top of the list is Microsoft, followed by Apple, Amazon, Facebook, Google, and the rest. The way this works out is pretty simple. Each company has a market cap, which basically means the number of shares times the share price, and voila, market cap. To be part of the S&P 500, the only requirement is that your market cap be over $8.2 billion. Harley's market cap was at a very healthy $20 billion in 2006, then it dipped down to $2 billion in the great financial crisis of 2008, got back up to $16 billion in 2014, and from then on it has been on a downward spiral, where in February of this year it was still above $5 billion, but by early April it dipped to $2.3 billion. This means that as of yesterday, Harley is not part of the S&P 500, one of the most sought after clubs on the planet, and has now been demoted to the S&P Mid-Cap 400, where the market cap to get in is only $2.4 billion. Harley's biggest problem throughout its lifetime has been its inability to change, and that is very well explained in Fortnite's video, link in the description, since its core riders who helped grow the company in the 90s and 2000s begin aging out of the sport, leading to less demand for new motorcycles and a huge stock of second-hand options available. Halfway through 2015, when Harley's real downward spiral began, they hired this guy, Matt, as their new CEO, and his vision was that of leaving the past behind and aligning Harley to all the trends of the present, but of course in a Harley way. He called this the More Roads to Harley Davidson plan, and its main goal was to attract new riders to the US brand. This meant branching out in many different directions, most of which were completely new territory for the company, since up until then, most of its revenue came from the bad boy cruiser rider. One of his best decisions was to create a brand new water-cooled power plant, the Revolution Max engine, and pair it with a brand new adventure bike, the Pan America, which is scheduled for release next year. This is a no-brainer since the adventure touring market is the hottest thing in the motorcycle world right now, meaning current Harley riders as well as new riders to the Harley lifestyle will surely buy into the Pan America. The problem with the More Roads to Harley Davidson plan is that it really went in more directions than it should. A lot of R&D money was spent on the development of Harley's first electric motorcycle, the Livewire, and yes, while it's certain we will move away from fossil fuel propulsion in the future, if you are a company on the downslope, you really should spend your available resources on what will bring you money in the short term, especially if you haven't tapped a great market like the adventure touring one is at the moment. While the Pan America is not yet launched, the Livewire is, and at $30,000 US, I'm sure it's a great seller for Harley. In February of this year, Harley shareholders got tired of waiting for Matt's plan to come to fruition while their market cap was diminishing rapidly, kicked him out and replaced him with a German, Johan Zeit, a long-time board member known as a turnaround specialist. He pretty much took Matt's plan and threw it out of the window while introducing his own Rewire plan, focusing on reigniting the Harley Davidson soul and culture, which is exactly what got them in the situation they are in now, resting on times long forgotten and not actually selling motorbikes anchored in the 21st century. Since then, Harley has slowed down their production facilities, slashed dividends by more than 95%, imagine being a shareholder now, and started asking around for survival loans. Oh, if they only launched the Pan America a couple of years ago. Alright, enough math lessons for today, it's comments time. I think what I'm most curious to find out from you is where you think Harley will be in 10 years' time, by 2030. What will Harley Davidson look like in 2030? Let us know in the comments below. Well, that's the show for today, everyone. If you've enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up, and if you think you've learned something new, consider subscribing or becoming a patron to help us make more of these shows. Cheers, and I'll see you on the next one.